Good afternoon, class, and welcome to your virtual course, Statistics. My name is Dr. Araipur, and I have been sending several emails to everyone before the course started. And I hope you've had a chance to explore the course. Here's the home page of your Canvas. So I just put the numbers so everybody can follow that easily. So starting with number 1. It's a simple welcome message. I'm very happy to have you here, and I wish you all best of luck. So that was a short welcome message. The second one is the class philosophy. And basically, this class is a community, and therefore we all have the same objective, which is to learn. And the idea is that we are all here to help one another, and we want to do that with the utmost respect. That is the class philosophy I like to follow. Number 3 is the announcements, and let me put this in student view. As far as the class announcement is concerned, notice you can click on this green announcements, or on the left navigation bar, the announcement here. Either way is fine. I had sent several announcements, and I'm going to quickly recap those for you. There was a recorded orientation for a similar course done previously. Welcome and orientation, you're already here. Exemption to orientation in case somebody couldn't make it. And then there were several emails sent to everybody welcoming you to your virtual course, and more announcements coming up your way. The next one is number 4. Under number 4, you find the syllabus modules, which talks about the practice test, PowerPoints, solution to practice test, homework, which is done through my Open Math. And this, I want to go over it, although we will go over it again, but this is extremely important. Homework is set up such that you watch some video lecture / lesson / assessments before starting each homework. Then we have the practice test key or solution that was mentioned. Discussion forum is on the left navigation bar right here, or you can click on it here. Then the sample test solutions, I'm going to explain that one here. Exams. And number 7 says, in case you want to come to the office hours. So let's quickly go up and explore all of them, starting with the syllabus. Now, since syllabi are getting longer and longer, I put them in this format so you can go to a topic of interest. If in case you don't read the whole thing, at least you can go to a topic that you have to, and I want to spend a couple of minutes going over the whole thing, starting with the section number, student learning outcome, course objective. The text is Introductory Statistics by OpenStax. If you click on it here, or when we go to my Open Math, I will show you. And it's more like a reference text, and it's free. Also, we use my Open Math as the digital platform, which I'm going to refer to as MOM from now on. And this is also free. Then we have the calendar, of course, starting with the orientation and start, which is today, and we are here Monday, Wednesday, 6 o'clock. Now, look at the date of the exams. I have set up all your exams to take place on Saturdays. Why is that? Because I want you to be absolutely relaxed and do your best and get a great, do an excellent job and get a great grade. And so all of them are set up for Saturdays. Now I want to look at the rest of it. I want you to pay attention to. There will be no proctorio exam. I believe everybody is here to learn and we are all honest, so there is no reason for a proctorio exam. Exam reviews prior weeks before the exam, the weeks prior to that, mostly will be spending time on practice exams, exam reviews. Attending review sessions is highly recommended to succeed in this course. However, all exam reviews are recorded and posted under the recorded practice test lectures tab in Canvas. So everything is already there, everything is recorded, so you can relax, and if need be, you can go and watch the recordings in case you don't make it to class. All exams expire at 11:59. However, to be on the safe side, you want to start a few hours beforehand simply because an exam takes 2 hours, 2.5 hours. So you really don't want to start late. And if you do, you don't have enough time to finish. Then we have a meeting and important dates, calculators. You can use a graphing calculator. You can use a formula sheet for the exam. Tech support for My Open Math, for the campus and Canvas. The Math Success Center, there is a website for that. And then we have other interesting websites and helpful websites. And more importantly, the grading policy. We have the online homework, which is 200 points. Bear in mind, you can do it as many times as you want, and as long as it takes you before the due date, you get 4 credits. So in the past, most students nail this part. On a normal basis, you really can't afford to get anything less than 90-95% on the homework. It's very simple. Participation discussion board, 100 points. There are 5 of them. Each one is 20 points. I'll show you and I'll tell you how it's done. We have 4 exams, 1, 2, 3, 4. Each one is worth 100 points. And the final, which is comprehensive, is 300 points. Now, some people are scared of the word comprehensive, but I want to tell you how easy it is. 70% of the exam for the final comes from the previous exams. Only about 30% would be brand new from new module, module 5. So all you have to do is study the previous exams plus the new module. There is basically no makeup test unless you have documentation that is acceptable by the campus. Other than that, among the first 4 exams, if any of them is not that good, we drop it and we replace it with the final score, as long as the final score is good. How good is good? 80% or higher. That means at least B. Your homework and discussion forums are really good. That means 90% or higher. And this action will result in a higher letter grade. In other words, if we make all those changes, but the letter grade remains the same, it defeats the purpose. You may use late pass for some of your assignments, which has 10% reduction, but you can't use it for the discussion forum or the exams. If something comes up, you can let me know. There are other topics such as time frame. You will have the answer to your exam immediately within 24 hours. The CSU LB 36, study 36, refers to the fact that we need 3 hours per unit of study to be successful. This is a 4-unit course, and therefore we need 12 hours to do well. Drop-in policy, students who don't start with My Open Math, they miss the first assignment coming up, I'll show you in a moment, or miss the exam, any of the exams, they will be dropped immediately. Then we have more information about DSPS, financial aid. And I want to go over the summary steps to success You want to study the PowerPoints in each module. You want to do the homework before the deadline. And that's under the module link. And you want to watch the video lectures, which is embedded in homework set in my open math. You want to study the practice test and their solution. Post your question in the discussion forum. Send the question if you have it via Canvas inbox or campus email. Attend the review session. And as I said, it's being recorded and posted in case you can't, and take the exam in a timely fashion. Then I have this office hours posted here. You can find it in the syllabus, or if you go back to the home page of Canvas, number 7 at the end, you can see the office hours. So I put it in both places, so I don't want anybody to miss that. So going back to the syllabus. Then we have more stuff such as basic needs, justice scholar programs. And I want to discuss this, what they call as, known as Netiquette for online learning. So the bottom line is that we want to show that we are professional and we respect everyone. We use correct spelling and grammar because it's a college course. We have a positive tone and we follow the course discussion board guidelines. We basically respect one another. I can't emphasize this enough. Know where you are in cyberspace. So please, we just respect everybody, and that's really the idea behind online learning. So this is the syllabus. I want to go back and look at the next one in under the syllabus, which is the Excel calendar. And so basically it tells you what sections are supposed to be covered. And as long as we are following that, if we are ahead by a section or so, so be it. That's much better. If not, at least we want to follow that, and it gives us the exam date as well. For example, the first exam date is coming up in a few weeks, September 17th. So we have those. Going back to the syllabus and the home page. The next one is a module. So you can click on it here or again on the left navigation bar, modules. I want to show you what you find there. The only thing is when you go there, make sure you are in the right class. Otherwise, that means there is a broken link. So the very first one here is where you register. So please read this. Access your online homework. No need for course ID or anything else. Why not? Because right here you register. So I'm going to show you, and then we come back. We look at my open math and how it's set up for you. So when you click on that, it will ask you for username and password, assuming you have registration with my open math already. However, if you don't, you create an account and you just fill up the information. Make sure you put in the information correct, and when you put your last name and first name, the initial must be caps to be on the safe side. So going back to the modules, so that's the first one. Then you have exam 1 module. I'm going to come back to this. I want to show you that the same concept repeats. Exam 2 module, exam 3, exam 4, and then module 5, which is the last 3 chapters. Those are just a few sections. And also I have added one more module at the end. It's sort of like resources. What do we find there? Formulas, TI calculator and its commands, tables. So you can find the formulas here. You can find the tables here, and you can find the information about TI. I want to show you something, and that is, if you click on that and bring it up, not only it gives you the resources. It also gives you a chance to download an emulator for free. If it works out, and sometimes it doesn't, you will have access to this calculator, which is a TI calculator for free on your computer. You can try this. As I said, sometimes this acts up. This YouTube video tells you how to do that. And of course, these are the commands, more resources as far as calculators, for example. If you go to the end, I have this online stat calculator. I have other calculators. So there are many, many resources, meaning I really don't want you to pay a penny for anything. And besides that, I'll show you even more resources when we go to my Open Math. So going back to the home page, under the modules, we can find a lot of things. So I'm going to go back to the modules, and now I'm going to discuss exam 1 module. So what do we find there? Practice test, PT short for practice test, chapter 1 homework, chapter 2, chapter 3, and then here's the solution. So why did I put the practice test first? Because I want you to spend a few minutes reading this and see what is covered for the first exam. You really don't need to do more than 5 minutes to have an idea what is being covered for the first module. Then as you go through the PowerPoints and perhaps the homework at the same time, it's up to you. For example, here's the first chapter. So if you click on the section, what I'd like you to do, if you download and put this in slide mode, when you get to a page of interest, it will not show you the whole page, but rather step by step, especially when you come across an example. You won't see the whole thing, rather the question only, and then step by step solution. But you have to put it in slide mode to see that. And of course, there are more sections. I'm going to go back to the modules. Again, we went over chapter 1, chapter 2, the same thing. You have a bunch of sections, chapter 3, the same thing. And then we go to the practice test solution. So not only we have the practice test here, we also have the solution to practice test step by step with details. And to add to that, on the left side where it says recorded practice test lectures, let's see what we can find there. This is my YouTube channel. You can find the lectures. That's why I said, you know, everything is posted. Not only the PowerPoints are posted, also lectures that have been done on them are posted. What is the next one? Recorded practice test. So we have the practice test, we have the solution to practice test, and we have the PowerPoint recorded version of practice test. So I believe everything you need is given to you. All you have to do, make sure you study accordingly. So under the modules, again, just exam 1 module has the practice test, PowerPoints, and the solution to practice test. I want to go back to the home page, and as I mentioned on the left side, you saw the recorded practice test. We also have this sample test. I want to explain about this one, and that is, in case something goes wrong and Canvas is not available, and you need some of these PowerPoints or recordings. If you look at this one, for example, as you can see on the left side, it says PowerPoint lectures, PowerPoints here, practice test, solution to practice test, and there are more resources. So mainly the purpose of this sample test solution, everything else is one thing and one thing only, if Canvas is not available for any reason. Now I want to go back to the home page. So we looked at the syllabus, various part of the modules. We will look at the homework, practice test, solution, sample test, all of the above. Let me show you the discussion forum before I go over homework and my open math. So again, on the left navigation bar, you can see the discussion forum, or you can see it here. Either way makes no difference. Just make sure you're in the right class. And the first one is the student bios. I put mine as an example. It would be nice if you can put yours. It doesn't have to be long. So your fellow students get to know you. Click on the discussion forum again. And the next one is a frequently asked question, FAQ. In the past, when students had questions, I put them here. So I've tried to answer every question. If something comes up which is different and everybody needs to know, I will gladly add it here. Just for the sake of argument, to use a math editor, what do you do? Do I need a course ID? The answer is no, because you are doing it via Canvas under the modules, tech support, how to use a late pass, how to check your grade, and where to find an exam pass. So this was a question that came up, and I was surprised because I send an email and it is in the announcements. Announcements with the exam title are emailed to students and have all the information, including the exam password. So you can find it under the announcement when the week of exam comes, not now, of course. So please take a couple of minutes to read FAQ. And after that, you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 discussion forums. Each one is worth 20 points. Those should be easy points. I've already discussed that with the grading policy. So how do we earn those 20 points? You are required to post at least one question and its solution, either from practice test number 1 posted under the modules or any source of your choice. The idea is that you want to pick a question that pertains to the first exam, the first module. If you can't find it anywhere, you can even use the practice test. I'm okay with that. But it is important to pay attention to those 1, 2, 3 steps. Number 1, read all the posts, questions, and solutions posted by others first, and pick a different question to post. No duplication is allowed. A question with one-word solution, one-line solution, or definition is not acceptable and results in 0 points. For the post, that is 10 points. So you want to make sure you read this the first time you are doing it, and then for the other ones, they repeat. So number 1, write question number and copy down the question. If you're using a practice test number or homework number, you want to write it down. And show all steps using math equation editor. If you can't do that, you can embed an image solution as explained below. Number 2, so that gives you 10 points. Number 2, find a similar problem online or on YouTube or on Khan Academy and post it. That gives you another 5 points, 15 points. Finally, it's your comment. You have to comment or explain at least one classmate question that is either solved or is found online and posted by watching it carefully in its entirety. Now, see what I want you to do. Explain about what the question addressed and what you learned from it, and outline a few steps you learned as a result. A compliment is nice, but it's not a comment. So if you said, wow, that was really nice, thank you so much, I learned a lot. This is not the comment I'm looking for. And I'm giving you an example of my own. This question, notice I have the question written. I have the solution, mu is summation of x over capital N. And I'm finding the mean, median, and so on and so forth. And then I'm saying it's a population. I show all the formulas and I show you the work step by step. Then it's a similar question, supposedly from the YouTube, and then commenting on somebody's work, comment that clearly shows I have read and watched that YouTube video that was posted by the student. Okay, so you want to make sure you put a comment that makes a perfect sense. And to use the math editor, again, I'm explaining how it's done here. Now, this is 10 plus 5 plus 5, total of 20 points. Again, we have 5 of them. Each one is worth 20 points. So you should easily get 5 times 2100. Please don't wait until the last moment because you rush and you miss a lot of stuff. So I'm going to go back to the home page. And now it's time to do the homework, exam, and so forth in my open math. And remember, let me just leave the student view. Remember, under the modules, you have registered here. So click on this one to register. Okay, and let me close some of this. And you go to my open math. So before we do anything, the very first thing I want to explain is that your first assignment must be done immediately. And the reason why, because it's the introduction to my open math. Again, I'm going to refer to it as mom from now on, which shows you how to enter your answer. And also, it will get you familiar with the concept of a homework here. So let me quickly show you how this thing works. And so there are a bunch of questions, 13 questions. This is to get you familiar with my open math, okay, and how you enter your answers. So it explains some stuff here, entering numerical answers, so on and so forth. So I want to put this number in, and to do that, if I click it here, the math editor opens, and I can, if I need, I can use a fraction bar. I can raise x to the power. I can take a root, you name it. So in this case, I'm going to just plug in number 42.8398. So I'm going to put the number. I want to show you something. The second one says, enter this number, but round it to the nearest hundreds, which means the second number, which is 2, the second decimal, which is 3. I either keep it or I take it up. So 42.8. The next number is 3, and next to that is 9. So I'm going to take the 3 up to 4. It says enter the result. You want to divide this by 0. You can't divide by 0. Okay. And it says you may enter DNE, does not exist. And if you look at it, it's undefined. But I don't see undefined. I'm going to say DNE. Okay. And at this point, if I submit the question, it check marks and says, I did it right. So I move on to the next question and the next question and the next question. What I want to explain is that, okay, what if, for example, 1/3, you can put 0 point and let's say submit question. Okay, and it check marks. Notice something happens, I can finish the homework for the sake of argument. If I click done, see what happens. it shows the first question is done and I got the credit for it. Second question, the same thing. And right now I have the grade posted for me under the grade book. Under the grade book, I got 15.4% on the very first assignment. This will not go away. So if I resume, I can continue, finish the job, and I get my full credit, or I can exit. So something has come up, you can exit, that's fine. And that's my point when I say sky's the limit. You can go back to the same question as long as it's before its due date. And this is due pretty soon. I like it to be done tonight. I'll discuss that with you later on. But for now, you can come back and do it anytime. The next one is exams. And for the exams, I don't want you to worry about that at all yet, okay? Because it's not the exam week. But again, I put that at the very top because sometimes students have a hard time finding it. You just click on it and you start. Of course, it will ask you for the password. Then we have the course description that we are looking at this concept of statistical reasoning and test of hypothesis, probability, you name it. Now, this is important. All content is in the course modules folders, which include videos and sets of homework exercises. Some videos are embedded within the homework and some can be found at the beginning of the chapter. So what comes next is this calendar. First and foremost, I want to show you this number. If I change it, for example, to 2, it changes to only 2 weeks, but I'm going to go back to 4 because that's the norm. And what I want you to notice is that the first exam that is coming up, all homework is crammed right before the first exam. Does it mean I should do all my homework on that day? The answer is absolutely not. Only this exam is due sooner. I didn't want to make it due every week. I just wanted you to have enough time. So if you want to be successful in this course, you do 1 homework per day. That's the only way to catch up and learn and do well, because these few days before the exam, you really want to spend studying for the exam. You don't want to be worried about the homework. So what comes next? Module 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As you can see, modules 1 to 5 are similar to what we see in Canvas, and you get the same topic. So what is module 0? Basically, different resources from textbook onwards. So let me quickly show you what you can find there. This is the introductory statistics. And this text class, when you go over here, it's been set up according to the sections that the first 9 chapters are identical to what I have in my PowerPoints, and then they're slightly different for the last 2. Remember, this is a reference text mostly, and this is based on this text. The difference is this one you can view online, which is easier to view, but ultimately some sections for here has been moved up and down, or maybe we got rid of some of them if you go to this one. Otherwise, they're the same. Okay, so you can look at the topic. In the meantime, going back to my open math, this is a reference text, and if you follow the information that I have under the modules, the PowerPoints, the recorded PowerPoints, you probably don't even need that. And it's based on that. Then late pass, calendar gradebook over here, how to use a late pass. If you want to use a late pass for assignments, homework, I suggest you don't do that, because those who get behind on a normal basis, they don't have enough time to catch up. The gradebook, after something is expired, if you click on the grade, you can review it. For example, you can review your exam. Then we have flowcharts. This is instructor resources, tables. I hope you remember we had it under the modules. formula sheets, PowerPoint formulas, multimedia library. Then we have free online calculators. This is what I mean by resources. There are so many resources. There are so many free online calculators. I hope you look at each and every one of them and see which one works the best for you, so you don't have to pay a penny for any of the calculators. For example, this is one of those that a lot of people use. Okay, one-way ANOVA, binomial, chi-square, you name it. So standard deviation calculator, Poisson distribution. This is another graphing calculator. This one is another graphing calculator. This one is a scientific calculator. So we have so many calculators I've put up here for you, hoping that you don't have to pay a penny for anything. Then as far as the TI calculator and Excel commands, we have some work here. These are all resources, everybody. And some work here, more videos. Those are videos for example, TI-84 for Excel. So if you want to use anything you want, you can, any kind of a calculator online or a TI calculator, or if you want to, use Excel, that's fine with me. And we have the information about that. I also have something called the p-value calculators. You'll find out what's a p-value later on when we go through the test of hypothesis. And then more online calculators as to how to use in their videos. And if you scroll down, more online stat calculator, more and more and more calculators. So I hope you realize this module 0 has tons and tons of resources. Do you need all of them? Absolutely not. Please explore them and see what works best for you. Then comes module 1. For now, you want to be concerned with module 1 only. This is exam 1 module, if you will. And so if you look at module 1, it has 3 chapters. So you start with chapter 1. It says 1.1, statistical and critical thinking. It says, first watch these videos. I want to explain something here. This says instructors video lectures. Those are my videos. You have found it under the modules, under the recorded practice test, the YouTube channel that I have on Canvas. You probably have watched it already by the time you come here. These are other recommended video lectures by other professors. However, you can only stick with these videos that are in red and then start your homework. Now, notice when you start the homework, some of them, for example, look at the first question. It also has a video 1 and video 2. So that means even when you go to do your homework, there may be help available. But then the next one has also a video, but the next one doesn't. Okay? So the point being, I would want you to watch these videos that are in red and then go do your homework. Between the PowerPoints that I have for you, the videos that I have for you, and the videos here, I don't think you need anything else. So let me recap my open math and Canvas. Quickly, when you come to my open math, you do the first introductory assignment. You don't worry about the exams yet. You see the calendar. Module 0 has tons and tons of resources, including many different calculators. Module 1 is the start of the course. with chapter 1, you watch those videos and you start the homework. So that's as far as my open math is concerned. Going back to the home page to recap, first we have a welcome message, then the class philosophy, we are all in it together to help one another. Announcements that you can get here on the left side. Syllabus, we went over that. Modules, under the modules, you can find the practice test, my PowerPoints, solution to the practice test. You can also find my open math so you can do your homework. The discussion forum right here or on the left navigation bar. Sample test solutions. This is in case Canvas is out. At the end of the page, you have my office hours. So again, on the left side, this is the recorded practice test. You can find my lectures as well as practice tests. Under the modules, you can find my open math, and you want to be concerned with the exam 1 module, which has the practice test, PowerPoints, and the solution to the practice test. And the last one has formulas, tables, and TI calculator. Even I showed you how to find the emulator through that. Hopefully you can make that work. I wish you all best of luck and happy studying, everybody.